On Michelle Obama. That was the big story yesterday, at least on the Blaze News. The number one story far and away was Michelle Obama went into Target. This is an old story, you know. She went into Target, but she has recently said in People magazine that she was very upset because she went into Target, and what happened was somebody stopped her and asked her for help. And one of my favorite lines in any article on the Obamas, the quote, if I'm not mistaken, Jeffy, look this up. I believe the quote was, "I was mistaken for someone who would be helpful." She thought what was it? She thought I was somebody that would be helpful. Or
she saw me as someone who could help her.
Yeah, that's right. She was offended because this woman approached Michelle Obama and, quote, she saw me as someone who could help her. Well, there's your first mistake. If you see the first lady as someone that can help you, you're completely wrong.
It's not what she's there for.
Okay. So now here's the update on this story. We all know that this is bullcrap. The charge of racism. What happened was she was saying that this is the kind of racism that she and Barack have to deal with all the time, that she would go into a Target and somehow or another, someone would mistake her for some peasant that worked at Target just because she's black. Now we have the rest of the story, and I believe we're the only outlet that have it because of a phone call that happened yesterday with Pat and Stu.
The woman at Target, her sister called us, and it was fascinating because it's just as we suspected, the woman was short. And she couldn't reach something, I think it was Tide.
Yeah, detergent,
on the top shelf. And so Michelle Obama was there. She didn't even recognize her because you're not thinking, I'm gonna run into the first lady here.
Even if you run into the first lady and you would look at her and you would recognize her, you would be like, oh my gosh, you look just like Michelle Obama.
Right.
You would not expect the first lady to be at Target.
Yeah. And you might even ask the first lady for help because she's, I don't know.
She's very tall.
She's taller than you.
How old? She's like 5'11" or something, isn't she?
I think, yeah.
She's a very tall woman.
Yeah. So she asked for help. And by the way, she is such a racist that she voted for Barack Obama for president twice. She's a huge fan, a big supporter, and
huge
loves
supporter.
The Obamas.
Now, I have some additional information to this. Now, the producers, before they went on air, and you got to get the audio so we can play that. But before we went to air yesterday, the producers called and wanted to verify and make sure that this woman was on the up and up. So we found out some additional information. First of all, our producers said that the woman involved is very upset that she's being portrayed this way. Again, she's a very big fan of the Obamas. She's not mad at the Obamas. She likes the Obamas. But she's upset that the press is portraying her as somebody who is racist. I have news for you. That wasn't the press. That is Michelle Obama. And she's very upset that she's being portrayed as a racist when she asked her for help because she's short. This is a fan. In fact, I'm going to go a step further. Not only is this woman a fan, and I've been asked not to say which show, but this woman, and this throws up all kinds of red flags to me. This woman was going to do an interview with the Blaze, and now she's off the radar. We can't get a hold of her. But we do know some information about her. Her husband is one of the major producers at MSNBC. Now let me ask you a question.
Oh, my.
What are the odds,
good golly,
that you go in to a Target and the woman you happen to speak to, her husband, is a major player at MSNBC?
Low, but I mean, you're in that area where, I mean, there's obviously a lot of news and political people.
Or would you take that bet?
Well, I mean, it depends what the odds.
I know,
but yeah, I mean, it would have to be high. You're right.
Yeah, the odds are pretty low that. I mean, and especially since we remember Michelle Obama does not want to be known. She was just going out just to grab a couple of things off the shelves of Kmart or of Target.
But what? When you say there's red flags, what are you?
I have not believed from the moment this happened. I did not believe that Michelle Obama was just going into some place to be. And if you knew who this guy produces for, there would be more red flags, I believe. Let's just say, huge
So
supporter.
are you alleging? Are you alleging?
No, I am
that
saying
she was
that
planted
the odds.
there?
No, I am saying that
I don't think that fits.
No,
I don't think so either.
I think the odds are you want to be seen. I'm not saying that they were working together or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be seen. Is there any place where
Producers of MSNBC's wives hang out?
Wives hang out. I mean, is there anything that we can make sure that we
Well,
get?
I'm sure they went to a place that's probably more friendly than others. Yeah, I mean, when you do that.
I have a hard time putting all of this one together. Now it could be because Stu, you're right. Everybody's connected to everybody back in Washington, in Washington D.C., and there's a very good chance that those things happen, and it's I'm sure. I'm not alleging that they schemed together. What I am alleging is, come on, really? Nobody knew. Nobody had any. You just randomly open up the phone book and I'm going to go to this Target.
So the allegation then is, come on, really? That's
I just don't think this was.
That's not a good
allegation.
No, the allegation is this was
really?
not. This was not a. I'm just going to the store and I don't really want to be seen. Oh, I don't even have my makeup on.
Well, I believe it's not a randomly selected store.
That's my allegation. It's not random.
Of course.
Yeah,
but I think
it was a
all
photo op
politicos
anyway.
do that.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I think that I would be with you if, or at least entertain this idea if she was reacting positively.
Yes.
To if she was playing along.
Yeah.
Is this the woman?
I don't
know. You're just Keith, can you tell us who's on the line if this is the woman?
Let's see.
The sister, I think, lived in North Carolina, so that's probably not.
Now, we should point out quickly that
sure.
the news department is trying to verify all this, and I know, we don't know. This person,
our
her
producers,
sister,
your producers, yesterday did their best to verify.
Because she's the sister of this woman is just a fan of Pat and Stu, and just called in.
Yeah.
She just called in and just told us the story. So we just took this call as a caller and had no idea. And this happens, you just try to figure it out. We asked her some questions. She had lots of detail. She had, she sounded legitimate, and that's basically where we went to. We went to the news department to try to verify it, and I know they're working through that process.
And her deal was, my sister is not a racist. And my sister is, in fact, a huge Obama fan. And my sister is upset that she's being portrayed as a racist. So I'm sure she's not in on the scam, whatever it may be.
No.
So, yeah.
I'm not. I don't think that the woman was even in on the scam.
No, okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't think that the
Obamas are always working some angle. You
always
know that.
working some angle.
Of course.
Now, our phone screener, Keith, talked to the woman yesterday.
The actual woman from the Target.
From the Target.
Yeah.
And she said that she was upset at the Obama. He said that she was upset at the Obamas.
Oh,
not just
really?
the press and the way it was being portrayed.
Oh,
because
really?
Okay, good.
Remember, Michelle Obama
She should
told
be.
this
She should
story
be.
before
Yeah.
on Letterman and didn't mention a word about racism. She just said the woman was short. She told this publicly, this story.
Then
And
in
now
an
she's
article about
retro-
racism,
right.
she made that about race.
She's retroactively added the racism
really
to
bad.
try to make
Because
it look...
she doesn't have
She doesn't
any
have any
real
legitimate-
examples.
Exactly. Remember, she has one chance to come up with a story. Here's her big example
Yeah.
to show to everyone all the
And
racism she's been
that's
facing.
what you pull out.
And this is what she comes out. A story she's already told
Man.
without racism. And even if it were some racist thing, it's still not this huge example of racism. I don't know why you would assume it was racism in the first place, but still, what was it? She had to grab something off of a shelf for someone trying to help another human being? I know that's below Michelle Obama and everything, but still.
Working on it.
Do you have the Do you have the audio of her on Letterman telling this story originally?
I can get it.
Yeah, let's take a quick break and then you get that. And then we'll see also if we can play the audio yesterday of the sister who called in. And then you decide. You decide. This is such a ridiculous thing, but I am so sick and tired of cries of racism. It is every single human being should shun those who cry racism where there is none, because you are hurting the legitimate cries of racism when there is legitimate racism, because there is legitimate racism. There are people who are racist. There are people in this country that are racist. And every time somebody trumpets racism when it is not racism, it hurts society. It hurts race relations. My gosh. For these people to compare themselves to the 1960s, has somebody opened a fire hose on you? I even go to the guy who lost his, said, I can't breathe. I don't think that was racism. I just think that's out of control cops. I don't think they did that because he was black. I just think they did it because they could. Are you telling me that if he was another color that it wouldn't have happened? I don't think so. I think they would have taken him down one way or another. White, black, brown, yellow, it doesn't matter. Mama, telling this story on late night, could you please play this?
Yes.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually just rolling it in as we were coming back.
You don't need to explain all of that. You could just play it.
Well, I can't because I'm in the middle of putting it into the device here that plays it.
Now, my guess, Pat, is you brought that detail up for a reason, perhaps to signify to the professional broadcaster sitting to your left that you can't do it right now.
Yes, you might.
He could.
You might discern that, but here we go. Okay,
he just doesn't want to do it again.
I'm going to willy-nilly
go ahead. Right from the computer.
We've specifically said we should not be playing the things right from the computer over and over again. Because you complain when we did
play
do it that there are issues.
Damn audio. Here it is.
And here she is on Late Night with David Letterman.
No, he does not. That's my Target run. I went to Target.
Oh, she's so one of the people.
I thought I was undercover.
No, you didn't.
I have to tell you something about this trip, though.
Yeah, okay, tell us.
Here comes the story of racism.
No one knew that was me because a woman actually walked up to me, right? I was in the detergent aisle, and she said, I kid you not, she said, "Excuse me, I just have to ask you something." And I thought, oh, cover's blown. She said, "Can you reach on that shelf and hand me the detergent?" I kid you not.
Where's the racism?
And the only thing she said, I reached up because she was short, and I reached up, pulled it down. She said, "Well, you didn't have to make it look so easy."
Okay, there it is. There's the story.
There's the story. There's the story.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
Tell me what she said in People magazine here just now, just recently.
Is what she said.
Go ahead, Jeffy. Go ahead.
Totally unfair.
Go ahead. Okay, now he's not playing. All right,
Jeffy, warning.
Do we hire the handicap? Jeffy will have this ready for us in about 3 days, and then we're going to talk to the sister of the woman in the aisle.